This person says, this is Weave88. He says, I have a 2-year-old girl and I'm pushing very hard for her to be a nun due to the minefield that is modern dating. And then he says mostly sarcasm, which I hope is true. Oh. Let me say 2 things and then let you speak.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't feel that way at all. I have sometimes joked with my daughters. I'm like, you are welcome to marry if you find a man who loves you more than Jesus. But I don't mean that, right? I'm being, and my children know I don't mean that. And whereas I would like them to be open to the possibility of becoming a nun, there are actually a lot of amazing men. I think this is like this myth that it's like,
true,
we're all becoming increasingly depraved and awful and therefore marriage is impossible. Like, no, I know so many young men who go to Franciscan here and young women who are just good and beautiful and decent and normal. And so just this despair that, well, look how crazy things are. I mean, I get it. You love your child. You want what's best for them. And so I get the place it's coming from, but I would just say be at peace, because our Lord was raising up saints in the 1st century of the church where Paul was telling the Corinthians to stop like fornicating with their mother-in-laws, right? All sorts of crazy crap was happening then.
Crazy. And
it's like, yes, technology has advanced and the opportunity for depravity is a lot nearer perhaps, but the Lord is still raising up saints, and there are good, decent, well-rounded men and well-rounded women. And yeah, but what do you think?
No, I completely agree. I'm a babysitter. I've been a nanny for almost like 18 years. It's 8 years. No. Hang on, I gotta do math. No, maybe it was like ever since I was 10, whatever. I can't do math. And I'm 23 now. Somebody else do the math in the comments.
Yes, I'm 23. I can't do it. I'm giving up.
Yeah, I give up.
It's not going to happen.
It's Gen Z. It's my Gen Z trait. So I babysat so many kids, and I've seen so many kids go into the real world who were sheltered by their parents and just give in to everything the world had to offer them because they never knew how to handle it. They were never exposed to it. They were just like, alcohol, what's that? And so when they went to college, they went into the real world, they just gave up, they let loose, they got away from their faith. Whereas kids who were brought up in their faith, I mean, I was brought up, we helped the nuns out in Chicago like make soup for the soup kitchen to give to the homeless. I was a 3-year-old chopping a carrot with an apron that was way too big for me, and the nun took the time to help me with the knife. It was a butter knife, but like it took me forever to saw through that carrot. But she really took the time, and so I always had an appreciation for nuns. And when I went to go stay with some Dominican sisters back in last year in October, it was just a fantastic experience, but I knew it wasn't for me, and I still have a high appreciation for them. But when you raise the kids in the faith, but you still tell them about the dangers of the world, but that you shouldn't be afraid of it.
That's right.
Because it almost becomes forbidden fruit.
Right, but then you also are raising children who have this defensive posture against the world that isn't healthy either.
Right,
we've seen that in people, right? Where they kind of get raised in these strict environments where everything is evil. But first of all, that's just not true. And so it's not helpful to say things that are false.
Most things are not intrinsically evil.
Right. Right. Jeff Thomas says, I'm a 25-year-old man and I learned so much from Jason Everett's The Dating Blueprint. Amber speaks truth. I'm not in a relationship, but still looking. Can't wait for the book club. You have a book club?
Yeah, the book club starts in October 3rd. Yeah, we're starting with the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis. Really excited for that.
This person, Mark, says, women can help by giving men, creating the opportunity for men to approach, hang out after mass, go to events, let men talk to one-on-one in group settings.
Fair enough. Yeah, I do think that women tend to stick with their cliques, their girl cliques quite a bit, and it can get hard. It can be hard to get them alone. I've even experienced that trying to get girlfriends. I'm just like, that's how Chloe and I met, though.
I love that my guys are like, and maybe they're not my guys, maybe they came over here because they've been on your channel, but I love that they're asking you dating advice. This person says, question for Amber. Once a girl gives you the old, I just want to be friends, is there any chance that girl will change
There's no chance. I'm sorry.
Cool.
I mean, I'm sorry. If she says it, she means it.
Yeah.
If she wouldn't say it if she didn't mean it.
So, I think what's frustrating for men is they get told two things. They get told, you're too passive and you don't approach women. And then when they do approach women, they're accused of being awkward. And fair enough, maybe they are. But it's kind of an awkward thing to do, right? So they're accused of being awkward, or they're accused of like, I already said no. So it's a bit different.
I think women also need to give the men some grace due to the fact that like they need to check themselves as well, because men will approach a woman and then the woman will be like, no, I'm not interested. But then she'll be like, in the background. And then he'll be like, oh, she's interested. And then he goes up and he's just like, hey, do you want to go on a date? And she's just like, now. Now.
Thank you very much for watching that clip. Before you go, do us a favor, click like, click subscribe, and if this really meant something to you, help us out by sharing it.